All right. Let's get started. People are starting to sign in and show up. Hey guys, I'm Johnny. I'm the CEO of Jenny, and you might also know me as the founder and CEO of Songfluencer. Thanks for coming to our Fuck, Marry, Kill session. We're going to talk a lot about platforms, functions, what creators like about them. But enough from me. I'm going to hand the mic off to some of our lovely panelists here to introduce themselves. Tell the audience a little bit about yourselves, what your channel name is, what you guys do on platform. I'm going to start off with the Hines family. Start it off, kick it off, guys.
Hello, everyone. We are the Hines family. We are social media influencers. We started being social media influencers maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, guys. 2 years ago, being corrected. And since that, we've just been, creating family content, good, wholesome content on a plethora of platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
We've grown over 11 million followers all together with our individual and conjoined accounts. And yeah, we just make family dancing videos.
Comedy and whatever, whatever fits. We do a lot of trends and we do a lot of stuff that's not trendy. So that's us in a nutshell. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Mina.
Hi, I'm Mina Hanlalim. I would consider myself a more like casual content creator. I got a little platform over on TikTok. I've been creating content on there for about 2 years now. You can find me at Milk Friendly. I would say my brand's pretty like self-expression centered. I kind of started posting more crochet content over on Instagram. That's my new social media experiment. Love social media. I currently work for a hair dye brand called Good Dye Young. I'm a content creator here. I run our TikTok, help manage our socials in general. So I do a little bit of a personal content creation, and then I work on the brand side.
Great. All right. And Sam? Then we'll go over to
Hey,
Jen.
I'm Sam. I make content on TikTok under Pop Sam Cam. I've only been doing it for this year, basically, putting my face out there. I've worked for record labels and as a music journalist in the past, but have moved all that content onto TikTok this year and do everything from like reviews to bop or flop type stuff to nostalgia based stuff. And so yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome. And Jay, we're just giving quick intros to the audience. You want to let everyone know about you and what you do on TikTok?
My name is Jay. I do music related content on TikTok, as well as like story times. I really just sell myself as a personality. And, so when I go travel and do things, I have like voiceover vlogs. But really everything is just tailored towards getting people to listen to my music. But I got a plethora of things in my belt that I like to do on that app.
Cool. We're gonna dive in, y'all. The theme of this panel and webinar is mainly about like what parts of all these platforms do you guys prefer? What do you like? What are your favorite platforms? What are your least favorite platforms? Are there editing tools, features, filters, management things that you like about these things? So that's really what I want to kind of get at and help educate our audience on what you guys are looking at, what you guys are thinking about. So I'm going to start it off here with, jumping right into what are your favorite, out of all the short form video platforms, you have Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. Rank your favorite to your least favorite. What is like the number one you're always going to versus the one you're like, they need to work on it a little bit. Let's change the order this time and go back. Jay, you want to start this one off?
For sure. So can you guys hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So one of the I think I'll start with TikTok. It is my favorite, but I have like such a love-hate relationship with TikTok. Because the highs are high, man, but the lows are low. So when you can't, some things you can't control and it just goes bigger than what you expect. And I know a month from now I'm gonna be looking back like, whoa, that video did that for me. Cool. It's always like that. But then it's like when you hit the dry spells, it kind of sucks. So gotta give it my favorite. But then Instagram, I like that because I feel like I can tell my story more cohesively on that one versus catch a moment on TikTok. Um, uh, Facebook Reels is kind of the same thing, but I'm still learning how to swim with that. I don't really know what the mapping of an audience looks like yet for that one, but I know that's very important. And the same with YouTube Shorts. It's interesting to create short form content in a Reels or TikTok fashion. So I'm still catching on to the culture of that, but I feel the most disconnected, but when videos do pop off, I'm having very interesting conversations with people. So yeah, that'll probably be my rank.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because Heinz Family, you guys do relatively well on YouTube Shorts, right? Yeah, why don't you guys talk about, I think it'll be add some contrast a little bit what Jay was saying, or maybe not.
Well, do you want us to do the rank or just go into that question? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think the consensus between us, I think TikTok will be first.
Okay. Yep.
And I think that is because of, the virility of the videos is, I guess, on a per chance basis, are more virility. We have more success with TikTok versus any other platform. Now, with that being said, for us, YouTube Shorts is coming in at a hot second because we've learned that if you stay consistent, and on all of these apps, you have to stay consistent, but YouTube Shorts really comes into play when the consistency aspect of it. We found that if we stay on top of it, 1 to 2 shorts a day, and I don't think you can just, content is content. If people want to see your content, if you're not making good content, I don't care how many times you post. So let's put that out there first. But we post 1 or 2 times a day, and over time, how long did it take? Okay, we started with, I think, about like 10,000 subscribers, maybe 12. About 3 months ago, now we've grown to like 170,000 subscribers. And it's just based, we do post long content on there, but the YouTube Shorts has really boosted our subscriber account, like I would say like 1,000% in just 3 months. And it's continuously growing. And we see the comparison also, not to keep talking about it, between, because we all have separate accounts, and Kenny and I, we don't really stay on top of our individual accounts. So the YouTube Shorts, our subscribers are not compared to the Heinz Family and Us's account, where the YouTube Shorts are being updated daily, and you can see the comparison in the subscriptions of people being interested in the channel. So that really does have a play on it. And then coming in at a
And we talked about Reels.
It's fine.
I'm about to say Instagram. So Instagram, the Reels do, and I don't know if we came in at the right time, because I also remember when they first rolled out Reels on Instagram. We kind of was kind of like part of the pilot with Instagram, so we got kind of a initial boost with them, and the Reels kind of took off with us initially, but here lately, not so much. I think, I'm using hashtags. Are you guys using hashtags on your Reels?
I don't know how Instagram works.
See,
Yeah.
At this point, I used to, but now it's gotten so far.
Yeah, Instagram, it's really like the Riddler. You really don't, I create music too as well, and I've been on Instagram for a long time, and I ever since then, I still don't know how to generate a buzz, with hashtags, as long as we've been doing it, and also with the Reels. So now the Reels have brought in a lot more followers, but to keep them engaged. It's okay. So what now? We got to post another reel. That's not our platform for that, but that's where it is. I'll be quiet. They want me to shut up. Talk to me.
No, that was great. That was great. Very insightful. And I like attaching numbers to it. It gives us kind of perspective of like, I've been doing YouTube shorts. This is what I've realized from it. So I think that was great. Sam, do you have any thoughts on ranking these platforms? You use all three?
Yeah, I mean, starting this year as somebody without a following, I've been growing TikTok and Instagram side by side. Instagram's really hard to grow. TikTok's been very easy to grow. Like I was getting like 50, 100K views within the first month or so on that. And that's become my primary platform now. Interestingly, TikTok's the only one I hadn't worked with prior to this year. So I've had experience on Instagram growing for brands and growing content. And I find that once you do have a following on there, it's a very dedicated following, as opposed to TikTok, where I think that it's easy to find random people and people outside your immediate circle. I'm not sure it's as dedicated. And as I think Jay said too, it's much easier on Instagram to create a full picture of what you're up to, what your life's like, from being able to share on stories to just individual pictures to reels. YouTube Shorts I am on, but I have not cracked at all yet. And I'm lost as to how to do it. So I guess it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube for me at this point.
Okay. And you're not on YouTube Shorts at all right now?
I am on YouTube Shorts,
Okay.
yes, but I'm a whisper on there right now, I would say.
Yeah. I get it. All right, Mina.
I would say TikTok was kind of my first love. That was my first dabble in content creation. But I also have, like, I would say a pretty love-hate relationship with it initially. And I kind of got in on TikTok when it was like really first starting to take off. And so I had that instant like gaining followers more quickly. And now it's really kind of a crapshoot. I never can predict the kind of videos that I post that are going to randomly do a lot better. There'll be ones where I'm like, oh, this one's going to hit, and then it like does terribly. So I love TikTok, but Instagram Reels is kind of on the rise for me, both personally and for like the brand I work for. Reels, I mean, Instagram feed posts are pretty much dead. And I love Instagram, but that's kind of a fact. And Reels are like, it's a lot of growth and a lot of views and followers for the brand. But then for me personally, I kind of had I just had an Instagram account with like 200 followers. I posted a reel. This is the kind of crochet content that I've been posting. I posted a reel that hit 1 million. This is like within the past couple of weeks, and gained me 1,200 followers overnight. And I was like, oh, it's kind of crazy. Like I should start posting some more reels. And so I'm obviously really new to reels, but I'm finding a little bit more success with that. What you guys were talking about with having a more like full picture story of your life and more kind of like niche content rather than like the randomness of TikTok followers. I feel like on Instagram, I'm getting people who are following me for the content I'm posting. And so continuing to post more of that is what like they're there to engage with. And so I feel like I'm kind of intentionally trying to grow like more of my TikTok's a little more random, whereas Instagram, I'm kind of aiming for more of like a particular niche. And with Instagram, I find people are more following you for specific things. They want to keep seeing more of that content. It's a little more random on TikTok. So TikTok's still probably my number one, but Instagram is kind of up there for me. YouTube Shorts, I'm not on there for like me personally. Started getting in there a little bit for the brand. I have not cracked the code at all. Still kind of in the mode where it's like putting out content and seeing what kind of stuff does well. So YouTube Shorts on the bottom for me, but it's the newest one. So I'm sure that it's going to change a lot.
Right. Totally. All right. Well, guys, the next kind of layer of questioning, I'm going to point to one of you to answer one of the questions. So I'll be like, hey, Sam, what do you think about X, Y, or Z? And then I'll be like, hey, Jay, what do you think about this thing? Or Heinz family, what do you think about this thing over here? And just so we can kind of work through a lot of different questions, we can color this conversation with a lot of different content. But feel free if I direct a question at Mina and you have something to say, whether that is to springboard off of what she's saying or to contradict or to add just, your flair to it, feel free. This is supposed to be a conversation and a discussion. So I'm going to start by going to Heinz family. Heinz family, is there a platform that you think that you get the most inquiries about from brands or agencies for them to work with you on promotions or sponsorships? And why do you think that is the case?
TikTok.
Definitely TikTok.
I didn't even get it
By
out.
far, by far.
Yeah,
By far.
because they see our personalities and they're like, oh yeah, we want to work with them. So you can-
Cool.
I mean, that's an interesting way to say that. I was gonna go more of, we kind of promote our emails on on all of our platforms. So when we do get inquiries, it's coming through an email feed. So once you read the email, it's kind of like, hey, I checked out your YouTube short, or I see you on YouTube, or I see you on TikTok, or I saw your IG post. It varies, but more so for a TikTok.
Okay, cool. Is everyone kind of in agreement here? Everyone that's like, yeah, that's kind of it. No one disagrees.
Yeah.
All right. TikTok is king right now. I get it. All right. All right, Sam, do you have any favorite features on a specific platform that you love most? Filters, video editing tools, content management tools. And also, just as a second layer to this question, are there any features on platforms that you dislike and hate that just are annoying that you just need to, you're like, hey, I need to call up the head of this company and have them remove it? So what do you love? What do you hate? Features, editing tools, content management resources.
So doing mostly like review-based kind of content, obviously the music function is my biggest go-to. I've actually worked in CapCut mostly, like editing for TikTok and Reels, but I've recently moved away from that and I'm editing within the TikTok app now. And I actually really like the in-app editing for that. Instagram Reels, I just feel like I haven't worked out that editing whatsoever. And particularly when it comes to adding sounds or music to a video, I find it to be really clunky and convoluted with that. Whereas I think TikTok's integration with the sounds is a little smoother. But I still think there's improvements to be done on the TikTok end as well, in terms of making it possible to use multiple sounds or chop them up, change the volume, that kind of thing. So yeah, I guess it's all about that for me.
Awesome. Cool. I'm gonna move on to. Oh, all right. So Jay, you did mention you have a presence on a lot of different platforms, right?
Yeah.
So
mhm.
how do you balance all your time and what kind of goes into thinking like, I'm going to put this much time on YouTube, this much time on Reels, this much time on TikTok? I'm sure it's dictated a little bit by like, if you're getting kind of any kind of sponsorships or those kind of things, but are there any variables that we're not thinking of that the audience would like to know?
Yeah, I kind of compartmentalize how I view each platform. Like TikTok for me is like where I get to try out anything and not get judged for it. Like I've had so many content pivots on TikTok, in each section I've gone viral. Like I know Doja Cat has seen my name because she got tagged like thousands of times. If she doesn't, if anything, she might be annoyed by it. But in the beginning of TikTok, everybody was tagging Doja Cat because I was doing remixes. TikTok hopped in the DMs. That was fun. Then that content started slowing down. So I pivoted to doing emoji content where I was doing celebrity and impersonations. Then I did psych ward stories because I used to work in a psych ward, and it's just me shooting from the hip, expressing different sides of myself. But then when I look at like YouTube, it's a chance for me to do longer form content as well. Like if I want to show people what it's like I went to VidCon, and so I did a whole vlog of that, and you're only going to get that if you go to my YouTube channel and watch the longer form content, which, you know, is something I'm trying to ramp up. And then longer form content for psych ward stories. That was a cool avenue into feed, and even other types of content. And same with Instagram, you know, so I approach each one a little bit differently because each audience has kind of tailored me to pay attention to different things that they might like. And I'm still figuring it out. It's constantly like a morphing thing that I refine. But, you know, like the last one was said, I get the most inquiry sponsorship wise from TikTok. But, you know, with that being said, I still see the others as a big priority. I just got to compartmentalize them. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
think I answered
guys,
it.
it's kind of like going out to a little bit of everyone, but kind of related question. Are you guys using any specific tools to monitor your cross-platform audience or engagement? Are you looking at just first party like YouTube analytics, TikTok analytics, Instagram analytics to see the back end? Or are you guys looking at any other tools out there to kind of manage what's going on and to just be in the know of what your fans are doing?
Is that a question for everybody?
Yeah, sure. Go for
yeah.
it.
Are there tools out there that does that? If so, we want to know about them. But I think at the moment, it's like what you kind of described there. We kind of base it off of the analytics within the app to kind of like gauge when to post and how to post. That's pretty much it right now for us. We would like to be enlightened on any type of tool. Now we know there's tools out there that help you schedule certain types of content, which some cases help, in some cases not. But measuring analytics, that would be awesome.
I would be blown away if this guest star that I'm bringing on the panel right now doesn't have an answer for us. Paige.
Oh my gosh.
Paige, quick introduction. And if you have any insight into this, let us know.
Hi. Okay. Thank you for having me. I'm Paige. I'm one of the co-founders of Odyssey Entertainment Group. So we represent J-Pits as well as a lot of other content creators all across different niches on all of social media. But I met Johnny, oh my gosh, years ago. He was actually a mentor of mine. I used to put together marketing plans and social media ideas for an artist we work with together and at the time. And it was just literally the best learning experience in my life. And he also was there when I won a scholarship through the organization he was working with. So what a journey. But anyway, now we're both in the influencer space. As far as analytics, I feel like there are literally so many platforms that can do that. And I feel like a lot of agencies and management companies oftentimes have access to this, but one that's free for creators that I always like to recommend is called Foam. Actually, Anna, who's in our seminar right now, discovered this initially, but it's been excellent for us just because it's free and monitors a lot of those analytics in real time. And that way you can put together case studies for brands and be able to really showcase across all your platforms how your demographics vary. So that's just another example of one, but I'm sure you guys all have different suggestions what you've used in the past.
Awesome. All right, Paige, thanks so much. I'm going to put you back as an attendee. And I'm
Yes, thanks for having me. Sorry, so random.
Everyone, it was such perfect timing because I'm like, Paige will know. Paige, thanks for joining, Paige. Bye.
Of course, thank you.
All right, here. Heinz family. There's so many platforms coming out. You know, there's like YouTube Shorts feels like it's just on the scene. In 2020, Instagram Reels jumped on the scene. Is there any reason, you know, we got like Be Real now and we're trying to figure out all these platforms. Is there any reason why you would join a platform and then jump off it? And just be like, you know what, we're just done. We can't do this anymore.
I wouldn't say that we would jump off of the platform now. Would the content kind of die down? Maybe. But actually just leave a platform, I don't think we've ever done up until this point. There is another app kind of like that right now that we use. Nobody's really mentioned it, which was Triller.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, about
Uh,
it. You guys use it a lot?
Well, we in the past we did, and it kind of falls in this category here, right? We kind of gravitated to more of the prevalent apps where there's a lot of I guess traffic, social media traffic, and it might be that way on that app right now, which we think it is. So we'll probably start to create more content on that app as well. And it boils down to time management, right? Like we have 4 accounts and that's like 5 apps. So that's 4 times on each app, like different content every time and like when to place it. And all of our content is kind of like similar because we're in each other's content. So we can't like post the same thing on each other's channel. So it can get tricky. So yeah.
See you shaking your head over there, Mina. Do you have anything to mention about that? Anything to springboard off?
I feel like nothing too crazy to add, but just all that makes sense, like the kind of time management, like what are you having to put in versus what are you getting back? If there's certain platforms take more effort than others based on the, type of content you need to create. So if this certain platform takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of time, and you're not getting as much back from it, it's like if you said you guys have 5 platforms that you're really successful on, why would you put the effort in on something else that you're really not getting much from? So.
Right. Cool. All right. I got one more question that could, is kind of a very interesting question. And then I'm going to get to some audience questions. So looks like there's one in the chat, but any other audience members, if you want to ask any of the panelists questions, please drop them in the chat. This next question I'm going to pose to everyone here. So I'll do another kind of circuit and just pose to everyone. We've talked a lot about TikTok. We have most of you kind of say TikTok's like number 1 or number 2. You get a lot of, stuff going on there. There's a lot going on geopolitically with TikTok and, the country of China, the United States, the Biden administration. How would, if TikTok gets banned, how is that going to impact what you're doing? How are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking? Like, if it gets banned today, what are you doing tomorrow? Let's start off with Sam.
I guess with TikTok being my primary platform, I'm kind of screwed if that happens. But I guess that's why Instagram Reels is important. And I think Reels, like we still have to see as a pretty relatively new feature. And I imagine TikTok being banned will just open up a huge window for that. So I guess all my content creation would move on to Reels being like the next one in line for me.
It's one of those things where it's like, if this platform goes down, well, the audience is going to go somewhere, right?
You have to, yeah. So I guess it just means like shorts and Reels have more of an opportunity.
Jay, what do you think about that? Agree, disagree?
Yeah, the way I look at it, when I think about how much money I would have had to spend in order to get the value that I've gotten on TikTok, I tell myself, like, if this thing vanishes tomorrow, you are one lucky man. I, grew my Spotify, I grew my Instagram, I grew my YouTube, all to comfortable amounts that are still ahead of the game to springboard me. It's good enough to start with. And so I'll probably just double, triple, quadruple down because like we said, that attention does have to go somewhere. And I would just be trying to get whatever the new SEO is on what I do. And weirdly enough, it might take some pressure off. Not that I'm ever hoping for TikTok to go anywhere. Like, that thing better stay. But to get out of TikTok what you want as a creator, you never know what it's gonna take out of you. It's gonna change you. It's gonna challenge you. I might get low views, but then I tell some homies of mine that had low followers, get on TikTok, put y'all stuff out there, and now we end up backstage with Wiz Khalifa and Logic, off of like one post. So it's like, you never know what TikTok could bring, but I would definitely just probably double, triple, quadruple down and, keep it pushing. No complaints here. We got to keep it moving.
And Mina?
Yeah, kind of same thing, really double down on Reels, especially because that's what I've been kind of the most interested in lately. I would definitely miss things about TikTok. I think that random element of unpredictability is something that's still mostly like the most unique to that app. But yeah, just I'm sure that there'd be another platform that come up. I'm sure YouTube Shorts might take off more. I feel like when Reels first popped up, everyone was like, oh, I guess if TikTok goes down, like we're all going to use Reels. And then Reels has kind of become pretty big anyway. So yeah, it would be sad, but same thing, just double down on other platforms and I'm sure more would appear.
Right. All right, Heinz family. You're like, we're already good on YouTube Shorts. We good.
Literally what he was just talking about. Yeah, it's kind of like, the old saying, don't, put your eggs in the same basket. We kind of started pivoting. I guess about maybe 6 or 7 months ago, we were saying, hey, I think it was when they first said it was going to ban, like when it first went into like everybody, that hysteria, we was like, wait a minute, we can't like really, worry about that. So we really at that point started expanding on YouTube, Instagram, again, Triller, and just other avenues. Also Snapchat. There are some opportunities if Snapchat, if you are informative about Snapchat, because it's its own animal. But yeah, just having your hands in different areas. And yeah, so if TikTok went away, would we be bummed about it? Yes, because like everyone has expressed, it's just an app where, you can really kind of be yourself, and it kind of takes off for you it's one of the most apps I feel like you can literally be yourself and get out of that what you put into it, really.
Wow.
But other than that, again, we've tried to make our footprint other than just TikTok. So if that unfortunately happens, we just, like every other creator on here, just try to filter to another platform where, everybody probably goes to.
Just before we jump into audience questions, I'm curious, just kind of based on that, do you think just if a creator did not spend, a third of their time on Instagram Reels, a third of their time on TikTok, a third of their time on YouTube Shorts, if they just spent 100% of their time on one platform, that would be a better play? Or do you think that that's putting all your eggs in one basket and a bad play?
I feel like that's kind of what Vine people did when Vine was very popular. And that when it actually went away, it caused all of those famous people, quote unquote famous, to just die off.
Yeah. Good
Now,
call.
I don't even know where some of them are. I don't even know the names of their Instagram accounts. Like I can't even find them no more because they put all their eggs in that one basket.
Yep, I hear you. That's exactly what I think. Good. All right, we're gonna move over to some audience questions. I'm gonna do these kind of point and shoot questions at each of you, just so we can chug through a few of these. But audience members, if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. I'm gonna start off with Brandon first. Brandon asks, how important would you say it is to be creating bespoke content for each platform versus cross-posting the same videos? Jay, I'm gonna shoot this one over to you.
I would say that, to a degree, TikTok is the zeitgeist, right? Like they really changed the game on how people approach social media. We got, let's just call it spade a spade. Reels and YouTube Shorts is TikTok 2.0, and it's trying to, get that whole way that it's set up to capture their people as well. So you're gonna have some copy pasta in a sense when it comes to what works on each platform. That can work, but I will say, like, if you are only taking like TikTok content and posting it to Shorts or Reels, you don't have your ear to the streets of what's culturally going on those platforms, which are very different. And when you actually get involved, you find out what's likable and how to make yourself likable within the culture of what's happening on those apps. Because they do, even though Reels can be TikTok 2.0, if it was a font, it'll be TikTok's Times New Roman, Reels would be italics. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, it's still its own little swag to it that you have to cater to in order to be perceived as authentic. Because if people see you as the copy paste person, it's going to be hard to connect and feel like your goal is to connect versus to just extract, which is not how you want to come off as a creator.
Right. Heinz family, what do you guys think about that? Because you guys do a lot of cross-platform stuff, so I'm really curious to see what you guys think about that.
I think well, we're kind of a different animal there, right? Because we do a lot of pasting across platforms, not because we want to relay the same content, but because we feel like we have different audiences on each of our platforms, and we want them to see the same content on all the platforms. Now, our Instagram accounts, we all have a different, we shed a different light of each one of us on our different accounts, but the real side of it, it's kind of TikTok-y, if that makes any sense. On YouTube, we have long form videos that shows a different side of us, but a lot of our shorts are TikTok-y. And that's the formula that we've been going with. So you get another view from us on each platform, but you also, TikTok is still kind of finding its way through on those platforms in the way that some of our short form content.
Great. And Kevin dropped a question that kind of riffs off it, if anyone wants to take this one. You just mentioned having different audiences on different platforms. How do your demos break down across different apps? Are you talking about like ages that are different or regions that are different? How does that, what do you mean by kind of different audiences, or what they react to is different?
Well, what I mean by that, and they might have a different take, is so for my IG page, I started on IG creating music, a producer, making, tracks and stuff like that. So if you go through my IG page, you'll see a lot of that, versus if you go to TikTok, you'll see me dancing with my family. We're creating family content. You might see music stuff, you might not. And I was basing that off of, like, if you go into my IG page, you might find a lot of producers and artists, people following me, versus on TikTok, I got kids from like 4 years old to 16-year-old. That's a large demographic of my TikTok followers. So but then on Instagram, I do have that age range, but it's not as much. So I'm kind of attributing that to the type of content I'm posting on there, versus Austin. His is a lot more of, candid pictures and more of lifestyle and all of this type stuff, as well as her. And so I feel like their audience might be catered towards their style, or what they're eating at the moment, or stuff like that. Although I'm trying to get into that, because that's really what IG is about, on the story side. But the post, I'm still clueless on that part. But y'all want to add on that, as far as like different audiences on different platforms?
I just want to be clear. What is demos?
Demographics.
Demographics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I feel like I have an older audience of people on Instagram. So like sometimes some of the type of videos I might feel that go viral on TikTok, I'll be like, nah, I'm not gonna post that on Instagram, because I just have older people who probably look at that and be like, what is this? No. So I do feel like I have different audiences on every single different platform. Shorts, I think that's just everybody. I don't know. YouTube is pretty much everybody. So it's like you can post basically anything and still get a response. But as far as Instagram, I'm actually trying to see what it is that I want to do on the real side, because I used to post my TikToks, but starting to learn that that's probably not the way I want to go, because it's just such a different audience and they don't respond to it the same way people on TikTok do.
Can I add a little bit to that too?
You can, of course.
All right, but yeah, because I agree. And then, like, for me, it's interesting when I look at my demographic on TikTok versus Instagram, because on TikTok it's 60-40 on the females, favoring the females, and then on Instagram it's 60-40 favoring the males. You know,
Wow.
so like when I go on TikTok, I know when I'm talking about certain topics, like if I'm reacting to a celebrity topic, if I have something conversational, the ladies are gonna come through, and boy, do they! We have great conversations, and when you get ladies to hold down your music, it's a different type of support. Versus on Instagram, I might not be able to all the way step out into that side for some videos. They might have less success and the stuff the guys want to see, the cool stuff, or the you know, the music videos, the all the content that makes me look like the cool guy. It's like I'm way more, I feel like I'm authentic to myself on each platform, but it's just different aspects of me that come out. I feel like Instagram, maybe I might be more cool versus TikTok, I'm more relaxed, and it's just like a conversationally based, and I really see how the demographic percentages really influence that for those specifically. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to move to another question. Pip asked, what opinions do you have on apps that have been picking up like copying features from other platforms? For example, the Make Instagram Instagram Again movement from earlier this year. And I'm going to go to Mina because I know she's probably saw that one earlier and she's like, man, I'm going to put the ball on a tee and get my Louisville Slugger out. So Mina, what do you think about that?
Oh, I have such mixed feelings about this because like on a personal level, I'm like, yeah, it's like I am one of those people who when Reels came out, I'm like, well, I use TikTok for video entertainment. Instagram, I go when I want to see what my friends are up to, or like looking for more like art inspiration type stuff, like using different platforms for different things. YouTube, I go, I'm more of like a watching hour and a half long, like podcast type videos. And so there is that where it's like, if all the platforms are kind of becoming the same in a lot of aspects, they're all trying to be short form video. Well, then it's like, okay, well, then why do I have all of them? But on the creator side, it's hard because, it's like when Reels first came out, it's like, oh, you need to be on Reels, like Reels are being boosted. And now it's like, oh, I post Reels, I'm going to gain more followers that way. And so you want to utilize, especially when like the apps themselves even are kind of making it known that they're boosting new features, you want to use those and you want to use that to your advantage. And then it's like, to me personally, I'm like, I just want Instagram to be Instagram, but I also want to use it to my advantage. I don't want to miss out on those trains. So
Right.
I have mixed feelings about it.
What about you, Sam? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's just inevitable, isn't it? Like, I remember when Instagram introduced stories and basically ripped Snapchat's thing. And at the time, it was like, this is not what I use Instagram for. Instagram's just for photos, just for my friends. Like, why would I need that if I need Snapchat? And now, to be honest, I would go on Snapchat once every 2 months or even less. So I guess it's just about following it and moving with it and trusting that the app's going to kind of find its niche. And I think, as everybody's mentioned, with like the difference between TikToks and Reels, it's already happening. And I think TikTok works for me for like evergreen content. And I think I can put out stuff that anybody could see and interact with at any point in the year. But I don't necessarily think they're as dedicated a follower as you would get on Instagram. When they're responding to your stories, they're responding to Reels, they're responding to pictures. I think that's like Instagram's a value add in that way. So I get that it's a bit strange when the apps start copying each other and start morphing into the one thing. But at the same time, I think there's enough difference between the three at the moment for creators to find some kind of niche.
I totally agree. I'm like, sometimes I want Wendy's French fries and another day I want McDonald's French fries. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, hey, doesn't make like Wendy's any better or whatever. Like, hey, if you guys want to come out with your different versions of French fries, like I'm cool with it. Jay, Heinz family, do you guys, I'm just curious, does anyone totally disagree like with what Mina or me or Sam are saying? They're like, no, they shouldn't copy. They should all do their separate thing. I'm just totally curious.
I have an interesting take.
All right, Jay.
I feel like a lot of social media's copying is disingenuous because they try to make it seem like they're coming up with something innovative and cool. And to a lot of degree they are, but y'all really just want to get to the dollar. You know, we know TikTok is winning. They're positioning themselves to be a big part of the music industry, and Spotify, Instagram, they're like, oh no, like we got to position ourselves to be important. And as creators, the trickle down effect is we do get the benefit, but I still know I'm a battery because when I make TikTok dope, it just brings more people. And of course, I get to get a little pinch off of what they make because it's a crazy platform. But I'm still gaslit as a creator when I feel like I bring more of the to the app than what comes back sometimes. And so when these other apps hop on and try to do that too, it's kind of like much of the same thing. Now, first world problems, right? You know, it's like, oh wow, so you're complaining about what you're gaining, but at the same time, I still see what they're doing. You know, that I get
Yeah.
the capitalistic effort, so it's a little disingenuous, but I benefit from it.
Yeah, it's really tough. That's why I always like to talk about like the French fries from McDonald's or Wendy's. Like, all right, that kind of benefits me, but then I got to run to two different places if I want a Big Mac from McDonald's and I want Wendy's French fries. Like, all right, I guess I got to split my time, right? No, don't tell me you guys have never done that. Go
You
on.
got it. You got it.
I've done that before.
As long as you don't dip McDonald's fries in their chocolate shake, thinking it's the Wendy's Frosty Fry combination.
Oh,
then
that's
we
the only
good.
way. Wendy's Frosty and Wendy's French fries in
Hands
there.
down.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna do one last one. It's from Miss Kathleen. What's the best kind of yarn to use as a beginning crocheter, Mina?
That cheap acrylic yarn until you actually get good enough to spend your money on the stuff that costs more.
So, all right, guys. Kathleen, I hope that was a great answer to your question. Everyone, thanks for joining us today on our short forum. We're probably going to take a break throughout the holidays and return in January or February with one. Please follow our socials. Please, if you don't already follow Sam, Mina, the Hines family, or Jay, please follow them, subscribe to them, comment on them, like them, do whatever you do, become a fan, become friends. All of their contact information for either them or their representatives are in their bios. Check it all out, reach out to them directly. And thank you guys. Panelists, any last words of wisdom for the audience?
I would say whatever you do, when it gets difficult and you're discouraged, just remember, tell your story. That's it. Tell your story.
It's a great note to end on. All right, guys. Jay, thanks for the words of wisdom. We'll talk soon. Yes, a legend, Paige, right. We'll talk soon. Mina, Sam, Hines family, Jay, thanks for your time.